Hey, South Africa, welcome back. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I guess that's the role I'm in this evening as I record this video. A lot of South Africans in the political circles are very excited that the House of Representatives passed the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act 2, the new version of it, since the other one expired this week in the House of Representatives. Well, fantastic. That's good news for Africa. Maybe not so much for South Africa. But that bill passed. And I'm here to tell you that it's premature for a number of reasons. First off, it's just the House. The bill must now go to the Senate and be voted on in the Senate. It seems unlikely Republicans would allow this bill to pass, given animosity towards the ANC. But even if they do, the bill then goes to the President of the United States, and he has to sign it. Now, here's the second reason why this is a problem, these suppositions by these politicians in South Africa. Whether it's Parks Tau saying this is a good development, which was smart language on his part, but doesn't mean it's good for South Africa. Or it's Fikile Mbalula talking about how, they're going to pass AGOA and we're part of it. AGOA is AGOA, the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act, not SAGOA, the South Africa Growth and Opportunity Act. The Secretary of State and or the President can remove any country at any time that doesn't apply with the standards of AGOA. It isn't a freewheeling thing. It comes with governance standards, which South Africa has abrogated. Every country must be vetted for inclusion. South Africa is not going to pass vetting. The expropriation without compensation law precludes South African participation in the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act. It's illegal. And the arrogant refusal of politicians in South Africa to recognize or acknowledge this reality is astounding. There are conditions. They just see that free duty, no charge to come in the country, and they run around. They have no interest in complying with the standards they voluntarily agreed to. And the third reason why this is problematic, and these people are premature in their excitement, is that Trump may very well veto the bill. Trump has grown quite fond of using tariffs as a geopolitical tool to extract concessions or improve behavior. AGOA 2 would likely hamstring his ability to do that. If he vetoes the bill, the House may very well override his veto with a two-thirds. But given Senator Risch, the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and Senator John Kennedy, given their views towards the ANC, the Senate is unlikely to override Trump's veto. This week, in response to a Wall Street Journal article about Iranian combat ships from the Revolutionary Guard participating in a rogues nation exercise with South Africa, including Russia, China, and South Africa, as well as Iran, Senator Risch, Republican from Idaho, the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, had the following to say. South Africa's ANC-led government's foreign policy hides behind a claim of non-alignment, yet its military hosts drills with America's chief adversaries, and I've just named them. Any promise or deal this government offers Washington is meaningless when its actions signal open hostility towards the United States. President Trump is right to treat South Africa's government for what it is, an adversary of America. That is why the United States should take stronger action against South African government. The time for envoys, bureaucratic reviews, or business deals bridging the gap has passed. That is incredibly strong language from one of the most powerful political figures in the United States of America, Senator Risch, the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Recently, in a hearing, Senator Kennedy, speaking to Jameson Greer, the U.S. Trade Representative, said South Africa is our enemy. But the ANC is not getting the message. They continue to do things to provoke the United States and insult the United States, mocking President Trump at the G20 repeatedly, Ramaphosa himself on multiple occasions. Having your foreign minister go on CNN and call Donald Trump a white supremacist. This is not helpful. So all this excitement that's coming from some South African political quarters now that AGOA will be passed and we'll be back in it, I'm speaking to every agricultural producer in South Africa, every businessman who ships goods and or services to the United States and provides resources coming over here that was benefiting from AGOA. You are not getting AGOA. You are not eligible. The ANC abrogated that privilege to be part of that duty-free agreement in 2018 by introducing the expropriation bill into Parliament. And they certainly abrogated when in December of 2024, surreptitiously, Cyril Ramaphosa signed that bill and then pretended to sign it at Davos in January of 2025. You abrogated your right to participate in the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act. You currently have a 30% tariff on most of your items, not all. Citrus gets in without it. But you now also face an additional 25% tariff on top of that because you trade with the terror state sponsor, Iran, that is murdering thousands of its civilians as I speak tonight. This is a bed the ANC has made, and unfortunately South Africans have to lie in it. But this excitement about AGOA, don't hold your breath. I'd be happy to be wrong because being kept out of AGOA doesn't hurt the ANC. It hurts farmers. It hurts automobile manufacturers. It hurts the workers who work for them. It hurts others who send things to America. It doesn't hurt the ANC. So excluding you from the African Growth Opportunity Act, which I think you should have been excluded from since 2018, doesn't help South Africans. And I'm all about helping South Africans. But if you think that this behavior, this direct confrontation and these actions contrary to the interests of the United States, its friends, partners, and allies, will go unnoticed any longer, you are deluding yourself or you're simply lying to South Africans. Take your pick, or you're doing both. But the jig is up, and it's been up for a long time. It's just that we finally have a president who doesn't pussyfoot around. Ask Nicolas Maduro. He can tell you about it. Cheers.